Namaste. Today's story is about the Symantaka Mani. It's a story about how Surya gave the Symantaka Mani to Satrajit and what happened after. This story happens when Krishna has already killed Kamsa. Ugrasena has become the king of the Yadus. They have moved away from the Mathura area to the coastline of Gujarat, present-day Gujarat. And they've created this city called Dwarka. Then they have fought with Jarasandha, and Jarasandha is also killed. This story happens at such a time. In Dwarka, in and around Dwarka, there was another hero called Satrajit. He is a devotee of the sun, of Surya. Every day he makes sure to go in the Arabian Sea. He goes there every day in the morning and in the evening to see Surya and pray to him. And there he looks at the sun in all its glory, bright, really, really bright, shining bright orange with hues of red. And he looks up at Surya and says, "Oh, Surya, you're so, so wonderful. I wish I could just see you close up." And as he's saying that, he sees the sun coming down. And the sun is below, right where he is. Surya is so, so bright that Satrajit can't see anything. So Satrajit says, "Thank you so much for coming down. But can you please make yourself a little less bright so that I can see you properly? Just for a minute." So Surya smiles and says, "Sure, Satrajit." And he takes out his necklace, which has a pendant which is really, really bright. It's a red gem. He takes that out and he gives it to Satrajit. Satrajit looks at him. And for a second, he can see Surya. He can see Surya himself in his soft burnished tones. And the jewel which was in his hand and he has given to Satrajit, he said, "Satrajit, this is for you, my friend. May it bring you prosperity always." And Satrajit bows down and accepts that gift. Surya tells him, "Wherever this gem is, there will be prosperity. Keep it safely." And with that, Surya goes back. And Satrajit walks off to his chariot and he moves towards the city of Dwarka. People in the city see the sun coming in. "Oh, look, the sun himself is driving in on his chariot," says one citizen to the other. And the other citizen says, "Yeah, he must be coming looking for Krishna. After all, our Bhagwan, he is hidden amongst us. Surya must be coming now to meet him. Let's go tell Krishna." So all the citizens who were there, looking at the bright light on a chariot coming, rush to Krishna's palace and say, "Krishna, oh Kanhaiya, come, come, come." Krishna rushes out of his apartments and says, "What happened? What's all this commotion? Guys, everything okay?" "Surya has come to meet you," says one citizen. Krishna, the all-knowing, smiles and says, "It is not Surya. It is our own Satrajit who has come with the Symantaka Mani. Let's go and welcome him. Come," he says, and they all go. And Satrajit stops and he smiles and he says, "Oh Krishna, I got the Symantaka Mani." Krishna says, "Yes, you have. Wonderful. Your prayers and your bhakti towards Surya is well known. You deserve it." And then he says, "Satrajit, say your prayers to the Symantaka Mani and then give it to the Raja. Give it to Ugrasena. Give it to the Raja." So it will help everybody. Satrajit is not too happy about this. Until now, he was filled with humility. But when he hears this, he starts getting arrogant and he says, "What? Give it away? No, no, no. Surya has given it to me. It is mine." And Krishna says, "Okay." And Satrajit walks away. Satrajit goes home. And at home, he makes a beautiful altar, a puja ghar. He decorates it beautifully and hangs the necklace there. And every morning and every night, he does puja to the Symantaka Mani. Every morning, when he comes to this temple that he has built for the Symantaka Mani, he sees a heap of gold. And he became prosperous and successful. One day, Satrajit's brother Prasena is about to go for hunting. And before going to hunt, he takes the Symantaka Mani and puts it over his neck and goes. And he goes off with his friends. Goes deep into the forest. They were all having a good time. And Prasena sees a deer. And he decides to follow the deer. And as he's following it, he gets separated. And then he gets lost. He gets off his chariot and he's looking everywhere, where to go, and he's walking around. And the lion sees him. The lion looks at him and jumps at him and kills Prasena. The lion kills Prasena and drags him to a safe place. The lion takes that necklace. Looks like a toy, which is really bright. He takes that in his mouth and he's walking with that. So now, Jambavanta also lived in that forest. Who is Jambavanta? We come to know about Jambavanta or Jambavan in the Ramayana. Jambavan was a bear, a big bear, a very mighty bear, a wise bear. He was the advisor of Sugriva, one of Sugriva's advisors. And he helps Rama in the battle against Ravana. So now Jambavanta sees this beautiful bright gem and he pounces on the lion. And they have a fight, and Jambavan takes the necklace with that precious gem to his daughter, Jambavati. Now, what is happening? Prasena's friends look everywhere and they are not able to find Prasena. They can't see him, they can't see the jewel, nothing. And they go back dejected and they go to Satrajit. And Satrajit is shocked. He loves his brother. So he arranges a search party and goes. Krishna also joins. And they all go to the forest, looking everywhere. And they find Prasena's body. Prasena's body is there, but no necklace, no Symantaka Mani. The jewel isn't there. The gem isn't there. Satrajit is beside himself, immediately turns around and says, "Krishna, you did it." Krishna said, "Me? What did I do? I did not do anything." Satrajit says, "You were the only one who could have done it. You have been jealous that I got this Symantaka Mani and not you. You wanted to take it away. You wanted to give it to the Raja. You wanted it to be with you. You have taken it." Krishna says, "No, no, I have not. It's nothing to do. I was doing my work. I have not done anything." But Satrajit doesn't agree. And everybody there starts believing that our Krishna is the culprit. Krishna looks at everyone and says, "Oh, they are not going to believe me. And he remembers, oh yes, this is because I saw the moon on Ganesh Chaturthi. Anyone who sees the moon on Ganesh Chaturthi and doesn't listen to the story of Ganapati cursing the moon gets into trouble later on. And people start misunderstanding them. And their name would have to be cleared, and it's very difficult. So Krishna says, now I have to clear my name. What should I do? So Krishna looks at all the surroundings. He goes back to the body. He sees that there were scratch marks. It seemed as though a lion had fought with Prasena. Probably the lion had killed him. And then he looks around for a lion and he searches everywhere and he finally finds the lion. There is no Symantaka there also. Krishna says, oh, what do I do now? There seem to be scuff marks near the lion as though it had fought with something. They see footprints of a bear, of a huge bear. So Krishna says, let's follow the footprints. And off they go, following the footprints, wherever it leads them. And it leads them to a big cave, an entrance of a cave. It's just the entrance. And they walk in a little and they see that it's really, really, really long and it looks like a whole city under there. So Krishna tells his friends, you guys wait here, I'll go and come. And Krishna, when he goes, he sees something bright. He sees something bright and he looks and he says, Symantaka. He sees that gem in the hands of a little child. He sees a beautiful young lady playing with that child. So he looks at her and she screams because some stranger has come in. Immediately from the inside is heard a loud roar, and it is Jambavanta coming. And he comes plodding heavily. And he sees Krishna and he says, who are you? And why are you here? Then Krishna says, I'm Krishna from Dwarka. I have come to take this necklace so that I can clear my name. Jambavanta says, hey, I don't know who you are. Get out of my place. Krishna says, please, please, please. So Jambavanta and he have a fight. They start fighting. Both of them are very strong. Now, Krishna doesn't look all that strong. He looks frail and all, but he's very, very strong. And this Jambavanta is this huge bear who can squeeze the life out of anyone. And they are fighting, making a lot of noise. And outside the cave, Krishna's friends are all looking. They cannot see anything. They can only hear the noises. And then they hear quiet. Krishna is not coming out. It has been days. They've been waiting for days and days. And they decide to go back. And they go back to Dwarka, wailing and crying that Krishna is dead. Now, in the cave, the two are fighting, Krishna and Jambavanta. Jambavanta notices that his strength starts to fail. He doesn't understand, why is his strength failing? Why is his strength failing him? Why is he getting tired? And this young man in front of him doesn't seem to be getting tired at all. His energy is just the same. And then suddenly he sees Sri Rama in front of him. And immediately he bows down with all humility and he says, I'm sorry, you are Sri Rama, aren't you? Krishna smiles. Yes, I am Rama. Jambavanta remembers how he had asked Sri Rama to marry his daughter, Jambavati. And Rama had said, I can't in this avatara. But I will definitely come again and I will meet you and I will marry Jambavati. Jambavan looks at Krishna and says, you have kept your promise. Can you show me yourself in the same form as I had seen you? And Krishna completely transforms himself into Sri Rama. with the long hands and the bow and standing straight. Jambavan is so happy, so happy. He starts singing the praises of Rama, and he gives that Symantaka mani, the necklace and the gem, to Krishna. And Krishna takes Jambavati with him and goes towards Dwarka. Everybody there in Dwarka are crying, but they're still saying that Krishna is the one who stole the Symantaka mani. Some of the people say, let us go and look for Krishna. Whatever it is, he's our Krishna. And they're all running out, and then they see Krishna coming home with his new bride and the necklace around his neck with the shining money, the shining jewel. And he comes and he tells everyone, I'm okay, I'm fine. And he calls Satrajit, and Satrajit comes. Then Krishna tells him the whole story. Then Krishna gives him the gem. He says, Satrajit, here is your Symantaka mani. Please go back home and put it safely in the temple that you have built for it. And as usual, be a devotee to Surya. Satrajit goes back home and puts the Symantaka mani in the temple, and then he thinks, my God, what did I do? I gave Krishna a bad name. Krishna has done so much for us, and I gave him a bad name. Now people are not going to trust me ever. People are going to look at me very badly. What do I do? Then he thinks, I think I should give Krishna the Symantaka mani. I'll give it to him. Let him do whatever he wants with it. And then he thinks, oh, and my daughter, she loves him. And she's the most beautiful jewel that I have. Let me ask him if he will marry her. So the next morning he takes Satyabhama and the jewel and goes to Krishna. So Krishna listens to Satrajit and smiles and says, sure, I'll marry Satyabhama, but I don't want your Symantaka mani. That's yours. You take it. You are a devotee of Surya. Who better to keep it safe? You take it and keep it and pray to it every day. All the gold that comes from it, give it to the Raja. Give it to Raja Ugrasena so that he can use it for the people. Satrajit is very happy with this, and he knows that Krishna has forgiven him. Everybody else also forgives him. And henceforth, every morning after his prayers, he picks up that heap of gold and he brings it to the Raja, and the Raja gets it put in the treasury so that it can be used for all the people. And that is the story of the Symantaka mani, which belonged to Surya, and Surya gives it to Satrajit. And it is used for the good of the people of Dwarka. Namaste.